Hello everybody, this is Spirelli. Welcome to Over the Alps. So what is currently going on is that there is an indie arena at the Gamescom, and Steam has a bunch of games now that have demos and you can check them out. Though I thought I'm gonna look at a couple of them. I already got some, from games that were on my wish list. Okay. Slightly intoxicated couple finds a trap door. And they obviously go explore. Even though the light is not working. What could go wrong? They have a wine cellar. Did they know about this? Chateau Versailles. 1949. Oh, there's a postcard. This is a quite cool, way of showing a story. I dig the colors, the color scheme. Okay, let's get started. New game. A case of the Chateau Versailles. So I did start it up before to see what the music is like, and I hope that it's good now. Because if it's not, I'm not gonna record it again. Mussolini fumes over a daring prison escape. Four prisoners escaped from a detention facility outside of Milan last night, an incident the Italian Prime Minister branded the work of foreign agents. In a statement this morning, Mr. Mussolini vowed that no efforts would be spared to retrieve the prisoners, whom he described as dangerous political insurgents. Postcard. Aubrey. I've been enjoying the sight and smell of Milan, my friend. Okay. Quite a city, no matter what Mussolini is doing to the place. Oh, and now I can choose by the postcard that I put on it. But Mussolini will wreck it in the end, or fascism will never overcome beauty, it'll die trying. Or I won't tell you precisely what I got up to. Well, this sounds ominous. Control is enough dirt on me already, I think, but it shouldn't have any of those messy consequences our master dislikes so much. I got out and I didn't break too many noses on the way. Or, I don't think Milan will remember my face. Or, would you believe it, I even met a girl. Nah, I got out and I didn't break too many fat noses on the way. Revise San Vitale in a few hours, Aubrey. We'll keep you posted how I get on. Act 1, The Italian Gambit. Schweizerische. Ah, I love the mountains. I love it. I love this view. Oh god. Okay, wait, do I actually have to do something because I was just enjoying the view? Oh, I'm just clicking on the train. 49 stops, Aubrey, and it calls an express. Switzerland is full of these electric trains, the young woman in my compartment remarked, as we lurched to a halt once again. Not enough fuel here to run proper trains. Not good coal mines, I think. She smiled at me, a prim, unaccustomed smile, like an ill-fitting shoe. That will soon change, she added. It will? Just like that? Or, I'd rather like the mountains as they are, Fräulein. Or, I ignored the remark and continued, well, I like the mountains as they are, Fräulein. Then you're in luck. We'll be amongst them for many more hours, she stuck at a Cloveland. Fräulein Wolf, not Swiss, German. Mr. Smith, I said as I shook the outstretched hand. Or, I'm not making this up, Robbie, that was her name. Or, the greatest of pleasure, Fräulein, I returned. Yeah, the greatest of pleasures, Fräulein, I returned. Not the greatest, I'm sure, Whitey smiled this time. The train lurched back into motion. For a moment we were jostled together. 5 empty seats, and she had picked the one beside me. Well, that's weird. Where you headed, Fräulein? Or, I hear the air up here is exhilarating. Or, Fräulein, please, do try to keep your balance. But that is why I'm sitting next to you, don't you see? So that I might catch your arm to steady myself. These Swiss trains are like cattle cars. She turned to examine her reflection in the window glass and adjusted the fall of her hair. A pity, the way those soft blonde waves hit her brow worked fine for me. We continued to talk, or we passed the rest of the journey in silence, or the front had a few more starters, but without success. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't like it if a random person just sat next to me. I'm sorry. I'm not accustomed to that. I know in some cultures it's super common to just sit next to a stranger and have super long conversations, but I feel really awkward the whole time. The Fräulein tried a few more starters, but without success. Note, you know are fearless. Finally, she gave up and cracked open a book. When our train arrived in the pretty lakeside town of Riva San Vitale, we parted ways. But I felt sure this would not be the last I saw of Fräulein Wolf. Well, that is weird, because she's a random person, supposedly. Riva San Vitale. Hotel and those Alps. Oh god. I need all those graphics for like my desktop. And cargo room. Aubrey, I saw the Fräulein again, but before I get to that, let me tell you about my contact. Are you waiting for someone, I suppose, Fräulein? I began. She didn't acknowledge me, so I marched right over to her. But before I get to that, let me tell you about my contact. Typical sword control would send. Stiff as a poker, jumpy as a frog. In the middle of the hotel bar, drink in hand but not drinking. Sticking out like a sore thumb. Exchanging words wasn't necessary. The Fräulein from the tram was there too, perched on a high stool with a large glass of grappa, looking straight at my contact. Perhaps you know that man, Fräulein? Or I avoided approaching him as long as I could. Look at that jump, Fräulein. Look at that jump, Fräulein. You're now unstoppable. Seems lonely to me, she agreed. She waved her glove and the man almost skipped towards us, grateful as a child. There you are, he enthused, speaking only to me as though the Fräulein wasn't there like a perfect idiot. Italian accent. You're the agent, yes? We'll go tonight, from the bay, after dark. He hurried away. But Fräulein had heard his every word. Well, he's not a good agent then, is he? Oh. Do I now say where I go? Wait. Okay. The idiot had arranged to cross the lake by rowboat. Aubrey, I'll spare you the details of how we rowed across the lake, but it was a grim task as you might expect. Oh, look how grumpy he is! Oh god, I love this game! I'm so happy it's on my wish. Actually, I could buy it already. I think this one is out already. My Italian friend did exactly none of the work. Or I still don't know what we were doing out there, or still, Lake Lugano is quite something, yes. I am enjoying the nature. Big, white, enchanting in the moonlight and all the rest. Then a shot rang out. Then another. Dear me, wailed my Tyne. Be quiet, I snapped. Or, someone shooting at us and fear no who. Just a car on the shore backfiring. Very common for cars. Yeah. No less. Be quiet, I snapped. A period of bashful silence followed, accompanied by the gentle splashing of oars. Whoever was taking pot shots at us gave up. It seemed the wolf was following our scent. Ho 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 ho. The idiot had ranged. Okay. That's this guy. Malate Crossing. Hitler reaffirms promise not to invade Switzerland. In a meeting between Swiss and German officials last night in Berlin, the German Chancellor reaffirmed his country's commitment to respect Switzerland's neutrality in the event of war. Schulkampfer is a chocolate-loving nation, which is rumored to have significantly bolstered its Alpine military defense system in recent months. Interesting. I think he was true to that promise. Oh, now by boat. Look at that. It is beautiful. This whole game is beautiful. All of which puts us here, Aubrey, old chum, the imaginatively named Hotel Alpen. Dylan and I sit together at the breakfast table like a perfect couple of chums. He had his napkin tucked into his collar. You ready to tell me where I'm going yet? Or I'm ditching you here, you understand? I don't even know your name. No, come on. Tell me where we're going, please. The Italian trusts you. Oh, nice. The oaf reached across the table, took my hand in his. Please, he said. It is my daughter. She has been taken. We must rescue her. Go on. He took his hand back, thank God, patted his chest. I am Primo Vesoli, at your service. Smith. Not your real name, of course. Smith. That is absolutely my real name. Good to make your acquaintance, Signor Smith. I nodded and got back to the business of eating my kippers. We get to the train station in Lugano, he continued. Then to Bellinzona. 2-3 hours. Then we rescue my daughter. They have her in a castle there. He leaned back, evidently pleased with his plan. And now, how is your smoked fish? May I try? Honestly, you tell Control I wanted vineyard. Well, you gotta try some good fish. I mean, I don't eat fish, but you know, you gotta try other people's food is what I'm getting at. Oh, there's a plane. Hey, it's a Swiss plane. Do I wait for something to happen or okay? I still have to figure out the ways here. So Lugano, right? We hitchhiked from Melide to Lugano. Okay, let's get there. I want to see the scenery. Show me what's up. Lugano. I'm probably mispronouncing all of the names. It's me again, Aubrey. Getting to Lugano was a peach. Getting the train to Bellinzona was quite the opposite. We had hitched a ride to Lugano in a Bugatti driven by a confident Austrian doctor, one Wilhelm Schweiger. We were friends in moments. I roped in hoping to discover his political sympathies, or I spun him quite a story. Nah, we were friends in moments. He was quickly diagnosing all sorts of things. The Italian had nervous hypertension. I have problems with my father, apparently. This will be nothing new to control, of course. Schweiger himself, it transpired, had been at the same hotel as us back in Milite, and was currently engaged upon a thriving tour of the Alps. Are we headed for Bellinzona? I asked, as casual as I could. Was he not concerned about the war breaking out across Europe, or considered stealing his car? Ooh. Was he not concerned about the war breaking out across Europe? You are extremely honorable. Thank you, dear now. Like, I was considering stealing the car, but then I thought, like, I might not do it, and thank you for avoiding me. Not enormously, it seemed. The war won't reach up here, opened? Like, he voiced his opinion? And I'm sure it will be sorted out quickly. We arrived in Lugano around lunchtime. Our Austrian friends joined us in a train station to buy cigarettes, and that's when things started going wrong. Look over there, isn't that the German girl from the hotel? Yes, probably. Choo choo! You don't need to tell me who Herr Schweiger had seen, Aubrey. You know how my luck goes. It was the Fräulein, and she looked determined. Fräulein Wolf, you seem to be dodging my heels. Or, my darling, but isn't what you think. Hello, Fräulein, and goodbye. Oh, my darling, this isn't what you think. Ha! Now by the least these tricks of yours, she shot back. She slapped me across the cheeks. Whatever she was doing it at the top of her lungs. She turned to address the audience that was beginning to form around us on the carcass. This man stole a priceless pearl necklace from me in the most ungentlemanly way. Perhaps Prima would vouch for me? So the crowd is perfectly alright, this is my wife, or this woman's a lunatic. Oh, so I'm finally trying to see that maybe like this means I'm playing theater. Like this is I'm attacking. Saying let's play some theater to a crowd. It's perfectly alright. This is my wife. It might as well have given them opera classes. This was better than a matinee at the cinema. The audience was hooked. Here, she thrust her hand into my checkered pocket and seemed to produce a string of pills. The crowd gasped. I saw Mr. Schweiger, Herr Schweiger. He was watching the show, a mixture of amusement and jealousy in his face. I heard the clatter of police cars approaching. Herr Schweiger, won't you help me? Or turn and run for the train, or this is not the end, Fräulein, I declared. It is certainly not. No, you have been caught by the police. Oh no, this is only the beginning, she replied. Just the beginning, Mr. Smith. The Polizei dragged me away. I caught a final glimpse of Herr Schweiger. He was helping the Fräulein up into his car, no doubt destined for a better time than I. What is going on? Really? What? What's she up to? I didn't do anything to her. What is happening? It's not nice. Okay, let me see. Is there anything I can click on? Oops. Resume. I need to get to Rivera. Can I not? I need to tell you, like, I generally like not having too much tutorial, but I not sure what is happening right now. Okay, this is basically the stems I collected. It's kind of like achievements. Hi, someone, could somebody tell me what is going on? Is the game just over now? Because can I go here? Okay. Taken by the polizei. There we go. I thought I clicked on that before, but who knows? Taken by the polizei. Let's go. It's a free ride, isn't it? Probably not, but I don't know. Well, Opry, it's a toss-up. Perhaps the Swiss polizei are the most insane, or perhaps it's control. I thought the police would take me to Bellinzona, threw me in the same cell as Versali's daughter, and saved me a lot of bother. I worked in the office in the back of the van with me. I worked on handcuffs the best that I could, or I was biding my time. I worked on the officer in the back of the van with me. He was impenetrable. He might as well have been made of cheese. But when the cheese is penetrable, just saying. But when the van door opened, they saw we were not in a lion's den, but rather in some microscopic, unheard of little town. Rivera. I've heard of that. Oh god, it's beautiful. I need to make a counter, like just to count how many times I've said, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Because this is the top commentary you're coming here for, right? I was trapped inside a beer house. The smell, sausage and style beer. From the shadow at the back, a cigarette flared. This isn't a police station. Where am I? May I have one of those as well? Or you want to remove these handcuffs? Please, sir. I have a question for you, English. A man's voice, deep, resonant. French, perhaps. What exactly have you been playing at? I don't answer questions from people I can't see. I am English, and they might you telephone the British Embassy. Or control center. I am English. I know they demand to telephone. The police here calls spies bedbugs. Did you know that? Little bugs living in their beds? The man passed the tray on the cigarette. Ironic, no? He smiled as he saw the realization drawing on my face. He was one of us. I'd like to understand what you were thinking back in Lugano, making such a spectacle of yourself. Was the German woman sending the Bayesiana with my contact? I was handling it. I was handling it. Badly. You were handling it badly. The cigarette tapped on an ashtray with some petulance. From here on, for God's sake, stop making it so easy for my man to find you. And don't go off mission, is that clear? Very? No guns, please. I hate dodging bullets. Off mission? Yes. There was supposed to be a mission. Your contact knew the details, but he's still unaccounted for, I'm afraid. A flick of the cigarette, a scatter of ash. Amount for me to consider. Unaccounted for? But Versaliaban, he was my contact, wasn't he? Uh, he was, wasn't he? The police I now have your description. We've never heard of Versali before. Now get moving. The cigarette moved to indicate a small door at the rear. We'll be in touch once Control has worked out what good you can do out here. There was no time for more questions. I was hustled away through an empty kitchen, then out the back of the beer house. Oh, interesting. So he was not the person I was supposed to meet. Now here. So who is the person I'm supposed to meet? Let's continue. I walked away from the town. See, I don't understand what that was that just happened here. I imagined the police might start looking for me in Bellinzona, so I hiked up the nearest mountain and decided to lie on low, on high. Two things were now clear. I mulled them over as I walked. One, Miss Ollie had not been my contact. As far as Control was concerned, I had reached Riva, then gone completely rogue in a company of an unknown Italian. Two, wherever my actual contact had got to, he wasn't coming back. I had only myself to blame. It was Control's fault, of course. I'll be leaving this Versali business out of my report, that's for sure. I have only myself to blame, because we didn't exchange code words, because it was like, oh, it obviously him. Hell yeah. All the signs had been there back in Riva San Vitale. He'd been too nervous, too awkward, but I'd been too otherwise engaged. Damn that German woman. She's been nothing but trouble since I met her. This must be how Bunny felt right before Control gave him the axe. I walked away from the town. Oh, so I was in the middle of there. Confidential field report. Analysis. Police successfully evaded. You have... Ah! Stop, stop, stop! I didn't click anything. Want scenery. I won't say it, but you know what I'm thinking. Picture me, Aubrey. Log fire, warm brandy. I found an empty cabin up there, marvellously well stocked. You'll think me a lucky devil, but these are the Swiss Alps. The locals are too savvy to be caught short if they snow it in. And I needed the brandy. I was mixed up in something, and it was rattling around inside my head like a loose change. I knew I wouldn't be able to leave it alone. Or a man could treat himself quite happily out here. Wow, dude! I imagine confronting Versali. Was that story about his daughter even true? And was he really as hopeless as he seemed? There was more to this business than he was even letting on. Then, an interruption. There was a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. So I just need a... What is this? Nothing. Okay. Stayed silent. Maybe she'd go away. Sometimes I wished I carried a gun, or I opened a door. There was no point in hiding. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. I opened a door. There was no point in hiding. How'd she get here? The night was cold, but she wasn't wearing a coat. Well, aren't you going to ask me in? Would that be wise? Would it matter? No. Would it matter? You are now honorable. Don't be a beast, she looked hurt. We're on the same side after all. I was not having that. We certainly are not. I haven't the slightest clue what you're talking about. I'll explain inside. She barged past me. If this went on any longer, she'd be helping herself to the brandy I'd found. Oh, no, she would drink the brandy that's not mine, that I found and just took. I had to come. I believe I owe you an apology, Mr. Smith. Only one? I was listening. Does one apologize to one's enemies, Fräulein? I feel I must, she replied. I got you into the most awful lot of trouble, didn't I? This Versailles business, or my contact. My contact. Note, Fräulein Wolfish likes you. Ah, yes, the little man. There was a splash, of course, but after that he went down quietly. Shot him through my hat, as I recall, she sighed. I rather like that hat. A very stylish little beret. I have a mind to strangle you with my bare hands. I'm sure your master in Berlin will buy you another. Get out of my cabin. Yeah, get out of my cabin, please. If this was your cabin, you'd have offered me some of that brandy by now. She took a step closer to me. Her smell was one of French perfume and motor oil. You might not like it, but we do want the same thing. She was serious now. You want the girl freed, and so do I. So that much was clear. Versailles' daughter was somehow crucial. Why does this girl matter? I don't care about Versailles or his daughter, or you expect me to form an alliance with you. Of course. But you didn't think I came here for something else, did you? She giggled like a schoolgirl. One of those fearsome ones that carries a hockey stick. I propose Islam Pact, Smith. An alliance to be broken the instant one of us double-crosses the other. It'll be fun, don't you agree? Well, that just means that someone will double-cross the other. Sounds detestable, or as fun as toothache. If you play, you'll lose, Fräulein. As fun as a toothache. The wolf paced away across the room and curled herself up on the rug before the fire. She slipped off her shoes. Now, don't be a bore. Pour me a drink and we'll discuss how we're going to spring the Versailles back from her castle. Damn her eyes, Aubrey. Yeah, what is this? So we're staying here, it seems. Oh, we're opening the door? I passed a lonely and restless night. The Fräulein had only needed to whistle and a car had appeared to scoop her up, leaving me to think through what I'd learned. The Fräulein had set me up. She directed me to Versailles, just carefully enough to let me fill in the blanks. No wonder all her shots at us missed their mark. Oh, it's been an excellent piece of work, or never trust anyone, Aubrey. Basic spycraft. Never trust anyone, Aubrey. Basic spycraft. Note, you're now quite compelling. And I had let myself to be led around by the nose. By the morning I had now resolved Bellinzona and Versailles. If I could find the Italian, perhaps I could discover the truth. And if this business turned out to be more trouble than it was worth, or there was more going on than I'd fully grasped, that much is for certain. If there's one thing I dislike, it's a puzzle with missing pieces. I'm gonna move on from here. I also don't understand this. Like, the area is like this anyway, so... I made my way downhill on foot. What is this? Question marks. I, like, I don't know what this is. At the foot of the mountain was a pretty little village called Conde. Took a shortcut into the village by way of paddock fence, or I took the main road in. Let's do a shortcut. Rather reckless as it turned out, I tore my jacket on some barbed wire. I was thirsty and footsore and badly in need of a break. And then I continued downhill to Conde. Field report. Okay. Location Montesino, route risky. Unless police successfully evaded, they are hot on your tail, so stay on your toes. I'd really like if that screen would stay until I clicked, because I don't feel like, this stays until I close it, but the other one is just like, well, hope you looked at it in like 3 seconds. Soviet Union ratifies non-aggression pact with Germany. Today the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union ratified the Treaty of Non-Aggression between Germany and the USSR. The agreement, revelations of which shocked the world earlier this month, states that neither government may ally itself to or aid an enemy of the other. The pact marks a surprising turn from Stalin's government, following months of negotiations with Britain and France towards establishing a similar alliance. Note, the bus to Bellinzona departs whenever you are ready. So can I like click on the houses and different things will happen? The little church of Condé was dim and empty inside, blissfully cool. I hadn't realized how much I'd been feeling the sun until I was out of it. The space was so quiet that for a moment I didn't see the priest, sitting on the front pew, his head bowed. May I come in, Father? I took a seat beside him. Huh. Well, if he's sitting there bowing, like, I don't want to disturb him, so I'm gonna take a seat at the back, quietly. The priest must have had exceptional hearing. He addressed me in Italian. You are welcome, whoever you are. Thank you, Father, or I am only resting here for a moment, or... What can you tell me about Bellinzona, Father? Thank you, Father. Let's ease it in. All without turning his head. That was when I realized he was blind. What's your name, my child? He asked. Smith. Hansen, I'm Danish. My name is my business. Let's go with Smith. You left a footprint. Oh, come on. I thought Smith was so obvious. Ugh. Like, it's like everybody's called Smith. Then you're English, he nodded. My name is Locano. Father Locano. Like the town not far from here across the lake. I want to go to Bellinzona. Are you from Locarno then? I've just come from Locarno, I lied. Yeah. Are you from Locarno then? His face turned serious. Before I tell you, I must ask you something. The clapper on our church bell is broken. Would you mend it for us? Was he mad? I politely ignored him. I'm sorry I can't help you there. I'm sorry I can't help you there. Ah, then you're not a blacksmith, Mr. Smith. And I'm not from Locarno. The old priest burst into laughter like a split beer barrel. It seems he thought himself a bit of a card. My family are from Bellinzona, he explained, wiping his eyes. Bellinzona, I've heard that's a lovely place, or I took a moment just to rest. Farewell, Father. I can actually just leave. I've heard that's a lovely place. You're interested in seeing the castles, I suppose. We have a bus that can take you there. The castles were seeing. I took a moment just to rest. Okay. So I can continue or just stopping. Are the castles worth seeing? Yes, they are very beautiful. He smiled darkened into a frown. Except for Sasso Corbaro, which got so fit to strike with lightning and leave a ruin. A place of evil, no doubt. The priest nodded at the floor. You have been walking a long time, he remarked, and yet you have no belongings. I'm going to meet my brother, I lied, or I want to run from the police, yeah, no. I travel light. The priest chuckled. Just dragging your heavy soul around is weight enough, I'm sure. Took a moment, farewell. They didn't seem to... Okay. Farewell, Father. You are now a wonder. Peace be with you, my child, the priest replied. There was a sadness in his voice. Perhaps he saw a little of my future, Aubrey. He seemed that type. I wonder if he smelled my fear as well. Yeah, I can, now I can go to the different buildings, apparently. After the church, entering the tavern at The Nassau felt like stepping into a snowstorm. Everyone knew everyone else. Everyone jostled everyone else. Everyone spilled everyone else's beer and hurried to other places, spilling even more in the process. I joined the fray. I couldn't learn anything here without attracting attention. I joined the fray. The beer was white and thick as a pancake batter. Went straight to my sun-addled head, but chewed me up no end. I sang them a bawdy song I'd learned in Milan. Got into a fist fight. Oh. I left the tavern with my convoy intact, but no useful information. The trouble with blending in is that one is largely ignored. Well, what else can I look at? I think those were the two buildings. So I will now continue my journey. There was a bus to Bellinzona. Bellinzona! I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Well, re-record everything, obviously. I slipped aboard the bus to Bellinzona. I head down, collar up. The driver didn't pay me a second glance. But a few passengers noticed the state of my torn shirt and murmured with disapproval. They remember me well enough. A man with a fine set of whiskers tapped me on the arm. We're heading to Bellinzona, I think. That's right. Or and you? I gave him a thin smile. And you? It is a beautiful city, he continued. Myself, I'm heading for Biasca. It's a little further to the north. There's a little place there where I like to stay. Should look it up, or what's it called? What's it called? The Messier Club, he smiled. It is for Swiss only, you understand. Must have said something wrong, because he made a show of coughing and returned to admiring the view. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know that there's a wrong thing like to ask. Okay, they are not on my trail anymore. They are. Uh-oh. Okay. Police successfully waited. So, like, people... I talked about my name and then people somehow saw me, but I also moved cities, so that is fine. Thank you for playing our demo agent. Fly over the Alps today to continue and you're safe and finish the heist. Wonderful! This was a wonderful experience. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is cool. There's a couple of things that I haven't quite figured out. Like a couple of notions there I'm like not sure what's happening or it takes a bit to get into, and there is absolutely no tutorial, which on one hand is amazing and on the other hand... Oh, these are the settings, I didn't even look at them. Ah, that's a continue game. Cool. Oops. What did I click? Anyway. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of the demo. If you liked it, I super liked it. I might put it on my... I mean, it is on my wish list already, but I might put it on my list to continue playing it on this channel. And I'll see you with some new demos, hopefully in the upcoming days.